started this channel thinking I'm gonna document the journey of me selling enough prints to be able to finally buy a Leica, a photographer's dream, a Leica camera. But then what I realized is that was a stupid goal, because Leicas don't have any of the features that contribute to my style of photography in the slightest. And when I got the Fujifilm GFX 50S2, is that right? Yep, that's the right name. Stupid name. Shorten it. Shorten your names, Fuji. When I got that camera, I realized, oh no, this is my thing. This is what I like. Don't listen to what anybody tells you. Size matters. It does. It's true. Back in 2017, I walked around with a point-and-shoot camera. Kind of. A point-and-shoot camera, I mean a Nikon D850. I mean, you can technically point and shoot any camera, really. And if you've seen a Nikon D850, you know it's not really a pocketable camera. It was huge. But quite honestly, my photography work was probably way better back then. I deviated from that lifestyle a bit by switching to smaller cameras like my Fujifilm X-E4 or my Nikon FE, things like that. Things that were pocketable, things I could travel, things that were just easier to carry. But quite honestly, this year I've started to swing back to the person I was. I think I'm back to being the gigantic camera guy again. I think for me, my style is helped by the following features. I like a good grip. Fujifilm X-E4 was hard to hold. I had to get a leather half case in order to help it, but it still wasn't amazing in my hand. My Nikon FE feels good too, but has a similar issue. The Fuji GFX 50S whatever is better in every respect. It's nice and grippable. I mean, look how deep that grip is. It's just it's so nice. I'm never gonna drop this thing. I need a flip out screen that goes horizontal as well as vertical for, portrait mode or whatever. I like to get low, like really low. And that's hard to do without a flip screen. Notice my film work has almost no low angle shots, and I just prefer to not have to lay down if I don't have to. I'm not that dedicated to all this. And then of course, for a camera to work for me, or double negative or whatever this is, I need a double exposure option. So I can do in-camera double exposures. And you guys know this. I shoot in-camera double exposures a lot. In fact, with Fujifilm cameras, I just leave this setting on when shooting non-double exposure images. So I've developed this weird habit of hitting the back button after I shoot each shot. And I even find my thumb searching for a back button when I use other cameras that aren't the Fuji, just because I'm so used to hitting the shutter and hitting either back or okay to either move forward with a double exposure or exit out of it. It's super weird, I know. It is what it is. Buttons. I love buttons. I don't like menus. Buttons are great. Buttons are better. It helps me not have to think about it as much. I can use muscle memory. It makes the whole process way faster. Searching through menus is the worst. Sony menus, nightmare. Fujifilm menus are a little better, but they're not amazing. No camera menu is that great, to be real. And I don't want to have to use them at all if I can help it. And then really I just need a nice big sensor, because I want the option to be able to print really big. I love 35mm film, but unfortunately I just can't always make prints out of the images. Sometimes I can, and I've done it before, here and there, but not all the images work that way. And when I shoot with something as big as a Fujifilm medium format sensor or a full frame or whatever, I just don't sweat it. I don't worry about it. I just know that photo, I'll be able to print it big, I'll be able to do whatever I want with it, I can crop it, I can do whatever. And it makes me sleep easier at night. But also I just like that the Fujifilm GFX 50S2, it's 50 megapixels as opposed to 100. I don't need 100 megapixels. I don't want to fill up hard drives with all that. 50 megapixels is perfect. It's perfect. Leicas are stupid. Truly. For my style of photography. And that's the point. We all have different preferences. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. We all have different things we're looking for in a camera. And I think I found the perfect camera for me right now in the Fujifilm 50S2. Fujifilm GFX 50S2. My gosh, Fujifilm. It is the worst name for a camera. And for my style of photography, all of these features are best. Works really well for me. You may not agree, you may not be the same way, but for me, this is what I need. I'm happy with all of this right now. After shooting with this camera for a few weeks, it's clear I was missing a lot of these features for the past few years of not having my Nikon D850, and I feel like I'm kind of returning to myself again a little bit. Honestly, part of me just misses having a DSLR. I just liked them better than mirrorless, if I'm being real. But fortunately, the Fujifilm GFX 50S2, I said it right, is big enough and has enough that reminds me of my Nikon D850 to where it's kind of fooling me into thinking I have a DSLR again. Right now we're living through this time where cameras are getting smaller and smaller. And we have a new category of cameras over the past few years that are rangefindery, but they have tons of resolution. And really you think that's the perfect setup. Small, but powerful. And that's cool, but I think my photography style has always been way more at home with a much bigger, more robust camera than a small rangefinder dial. I'm always tempted by how good they look, but really I end up not getting the results that I'm hoping for with them. Because oftentimes these big behemoth cameras like the Fuji GFX 50S2 and the Nikon D850 are so capable, I feel like they're better at getting out of my way. Am I crazy? Yeah, probably, but not about this, I don't think. All cameras are cool and all, but I don't think we need to forget the big boys. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at Will Malone. You can follow my Polaroid Instagram account at RoidRage72. And please subscribe, and I will see you next week.